Hello, everybody. Hello, my friends. Hi, guys. Thursday evening. Hi, Becky. Treue Seele. Ja, ich auch. Hello, my friends. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Happy you're there. So, Thursday night painting. Wherever you're watching from, I hope you're well and safe. Just let me know where you're watching from. Say hi to me. And if you haven't done it yet, guys, please pop over to my page and leave me a like there. I'll highly appreciate that. Tonight we will continue this little piece here. This is, hi Nina. This is a bathroom sink cabinet which goes under the sink, and this is the side, obviously. We've started that last week. We've painted it with the Silk all-in-one mineral paints by Dixie Belle. And I wasn't sure what I shall do with the top, because this was done before. This was just like some driftwood, which I made into a top for this little cupboard. At the time, there were no Dixie Belle over here in Europe. I've used some waterproof stain I just could lay my hand on. So, hallo Anja, schön, dass du wieder da bist. So, I thought of just sanding it all down, or trying to get it all off, or making it complete new. And then we basically decided together that I'm going to paint it, and I'm going to use the Woodgraintool with it. The Woodgraintool by Dixie Belle. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, because this is not a flat surface, as those are planks, next to each other, and they are not even. So I will see how I get through with the Woodgraintool. So this is going to be trial and error. This is going to be the Elfen and Helden laboratory. So as we know it from a couple of our projects together. If it works out or not, I don't know. But I know one thing for sure, with the paints from Dixie Belle, everything is just going to be nice, whatever it's going to turn out. So the Woodgraintool by Dixie Belle. It comes with a handle, which already attached to this smaller piece. It comes with a bigger piece, and it's got like those riffles on there. Don't know. Yeah, no, you can see it's got those riffles on there, and it's got like one of those things which looks like an ice scraper, which it is not. It's got like a different what do you call those? Like teeth. Whatever, after all, I'm German. Some of the things I just don't know. And it is rubbery, it is pretty soft, so you can move it over the paint itself at the end also. I've got my baby wipes. All the paints I'm using are water-based, so if it doesn't turn out the first time, I can always wipe it back off. I've got this. And I've got a cat sitting on the freshly painted surface. Hang on, guys. Come on, darling. No, down. She's done that before. Okay, that was lucky. It was like only one bad spot in there. I mean, she was covered in slick stick before, so this would have been now. What was it? I think Cape Current is in there. So she's covered in Cape Current, but I think she's fine. So Silk all-in-one mineral paints by Dixie Belle is a new line by them, and teas, yeah. Okay, the first coat I'm going to do with a lighter color, and then I'm going to put the darker color on there, and I'm going to wipe it back with the Woodgraintool. The Silk all-in-one mineral paints, the great benefit about them is that they are UV resistant, they are grease how do you say that, grease and mold resistant. They have a built-in base coat, they have a built-in top coat, so this is like all in one. The difference to the chalk mineral paints is that you are not using a wet brush and you're not using a mister. If you want to blend the paints, you can. We've done that last week. If you look down here, it turns out different. It gives a little bit more of a cloudy. Hi, Dana. Happy you're there. It gives a bit more of a cloudy look. You can use some water, but then you might, hi Grete, you might compromise not the consistency, the, like, you know, with all the ingredients in there, if they're watered down, they might not do what they're supposed to do. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to stir the paints first. Like the chalk mineral paints also, they need to be mixed up nicely beforehand, as they have loads of secret ingredients. They are also water-based, and they are VOC free, so they've got no smell to them whatsoever. So they're a little more watery or liquidy than the chalk mineral paints, but the coverage is just the same. I mean, you've seen it last week. If you missed the live last week where we've blended, well, when we moved the different colors into each other, it is up on the Chalk Paint 101 page, and is also up on my page. So mix it nicely to make sure that everything is mixed, obviously. So then I'm going to, we'll first mix them up both, and then we get going. So if you have any questions, guys, just leave it in the comments. Hi, Erin. Happy you're there. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Manchets. So, it is not exactly new, but I put it into the water straight away after I've used it. So, and as the paints are water-based, I try to keep it clean, because as the more paint it grabs in those grooves, the less it's going to do the job it's supposed to do. So I try to keep my stuff clean. And yeah. So, but as I said, Dana, this surface is not even, as those are planks, so to say. It's driftwood, and I'm not sure how it's going to work out. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I'm sure you can do the wood graining also with the silk on and one mineral paints. I haven't done it with them before, so we see what happens. We see what happens. So it's clean. Paint is mixed. Base coat is going to be the, I'm going to do with Harbor, the lighter blue. You could do that with some beiges and browns. I don't want to have the brown anymore. I'm not the brown person, you know, because I don't like, well, it is a nice color, but not for me, so to say. Okay. I hope I said that right. Okay. I've used, because I've done the German live, I've done the blending with our German friends just before. So what I've done, I've wrapped those brushes up in some baby wipes to keep them moist, so that the paint doesn't dry in the bristles. And I put them in a plastic bag because I knew I'm going to use them now. And as the Dixie Belle paints hold a lot of paint, I don't wash it out in between. So that's what I do. And I didn't want to have a wet brush either. I could have washed it out, but I don't want to have a wet brush either. And I don't have like that many brushes, you know. Even I'm a retailer, you know, but I can't use all of my brushes. So I'm going to paint it first. Don't mind, there's like a piece, this is like, there's like a lengthening on here, which is not on here now because I have to screw that on basically when that little cupboard is in its place, because it's snuggled into a corner, and there's like a little lengthening to give me a little more area to place some things on. So, as my bathroom is not that big, you've been to my bathroom before when we painted that little cupboard over the sink. There's a mirror, so you know my bathroom is not that big, so that's the reason. So now you can see a little better that there's like those separate planks, so to say. And I'm putting now 2 coats on of the Harbor Silk All-in-One mineral paints. You can see the coverage is just as nice as the normal chalk mineral paints. It goes on very, very smooth. When it dries a little darker than you apply it. Looks pretty light now. It's going to be a little darker when it's dried. That's also the difference to the chalk mineral paints. It cures, it dries within whatever, an hour, something like that, sometimes even less. It depends on room temperature and humidity obviously in your area. And it cures. It's always a difference between drying time and curing time. Curing time means the time the paint has completely hardened. And hardened means that you can use it, that you can fully use it. Before that, you've got to be a little gentle with it. So 21 days. The chalk mineral paints, they need about 30 days, and they are 21 days. So sorry, 3 weeks. 21 days. So make sure I have everything covered. So the sides are also a little bit, it's going to peek through. I'm going to do the front bit. I don't want to have any of the brown peeking through. So I'm going to do 2 coats of this. This paint will be, it's only available at the moment in Australia, New Zealand, and in Europe. And this paint line is going to come to you in the next couple of weeks. I think beginning of the new year, you will have those in the US. And I think it is very exciting because Dixie Belle didn't really have like an outdoor paint you can use outside. And this, as it is UV resistant, is a great paint for the outside. So that's exciting, I think, because I think that was missing. As I said, it's got like a built-in base coat. Base coat meaning it's like a stain blocker. So if you have I've painted on this now straight away. It's like pine wood, which is about to bleed. And as this was like some sort of stain, it is about to bleed also. I'm not sure. It might be. So if you use this Silk All-in-One mineral paint, you don't need a stain blocker like Boss, for example. You can paint straight away on your surface. If it is a very slick surface like glass or metal, or this laminated, cheaper laminated furniture like this piece was, I would always recommend to put some slick stick on first. So it's a stain blocker in there, but not really a gripping primer. So I'm going to dry that quickly so we can continue. The paint is self-leveling. So obviously just let it dry on its own. I mean, the drying time, it has the purpose, you know, that the paint can settle. It is self-leveling, which is obviously only working when you give it a chance to dry on its own and it can do its job. If I go in now with a heat gun, you know, I'm basically stopping the leveling. So I'm not worried about this this one. This is my piece anyway, and this is like a rough surface anyway. So I'm not worried. But when you do it, let it dry on its own. I'm just doing it so we can get going and you can see something. So, but now you can already see, like in some areas, it already started to dry. It is a little darker. And so I'm going to get you a little over it. You can see a bit more of the piece. Oops. There you go. So. So let's come in with the second coat. Same color. So, and if you came in later, again, just let me know where you're watching from. If you have any questions, just put it in there. This video will be up for replay afterwards also. So you can basically catch the beginning. So now you can see that it's when it's wet, it is a little lighter than when it is dry. So this is different to the chalk mineral paints. They basically apply the same color like they dry later on. So the finish itself, they dry. The touch is not as rough as the chalk mineral paints. And you can, I mean, you don't have to, you can seal them. As I said, they are, I would say, perfectly fine for Florida rain or something like that. But if I'm putting it out on a patio over here in Germany with wind and weather and snow and whatever, I would always put some gator hide on top just to make sure it is completely protected. But for normal projects like bathroom or something like that, that's fine. So you can, because the question came up also, you can use all the water-based products from Dixie Belle, you can mix them. You cannot mix the paints itself. So I wouldn't, whatever, if you want to make a different color, I wouldn't use some silk all-in-one mineral paint and mix it with whatever, some blues of the chalk mineral paints, as they are different from the consistency. And I also wouldn't you know, just go when it is wet, mix some of the chalk mineral paints into it. I wouldn't do that either. What you can do, you can, whatever, you can paint with the Silk All-in-One mineral paints, and you can stencil on top with the chalk mineral paints. That works. So, and as I said, they are also water-based, they are VOC free, so this is great paint also. So, paint the sides, scoop around here, other side. And I'm going to dry that again. So when you use the wood grain tool, for example, when you use the chalk mineral paints, a beautiful color combination for those who like the browns is, for example, if you use French linen for the base, and you do, put the paint all over me now, and you do the wood graining, the color for the wood graining in coffee bean, that's absolutely gorgeous. So for those who like the browns, not for me. Now, Michelle, you shouldn't use the mister with the silk paints, as I said before, because the mister bottle waters down the paint, and it might compromise the benefits of the silk all-in-one mineral paints. If you're not worried about it, you know, obviously you can do, but if you want to keep the benefits, the whole benefits of those paints, don't use any mister bottle and don't use a wet brush. That's the reason I showed you last week how you, that the blending in, like moving the paint into each other, is a little different than with the chalk mineral paints, the normal chalk mineral paints, because you don't use any water. It gets like more of like a cloudy effect. So I'm gonna dry that again. See, anyway, if that's gonna be dry enough in a minute, go with the because obviously when you go over it with that tool, it should be nice and dry. So I don't know if I'm going to be better with the wider tool, or if I'm going to be better with the smaller tool. So this is, as I said, this is going to be trial and error. Heat gun smells. So now we're gonna come in with our grain color, the color I chosen for the grain, and this is the deep sea, which I already mixed up also. I'm going to work in sections. When you do that, work in sections, because you want the paint still wet when you take it back. And I have, where are my baby wipes? I've got to have them closed. There. Here they are. But I have those closed because I want to take the paint off the wood grain tool also. So, that. Just put it on. And then we're going to take it back with the wood grain tool. I'm first going to try the I'm going to try the thick one, the white one, as I'm lazy. So, but therefore I'm going to put a little more on here. So this is going to be wide enough for the. So, and then with the wood grain tool, you basically you place it down and then you pull it back and then you wiggle the you wiggle it a little around. And then you can see there's like this wood grain coming out. I'm gonna bring you a little closer. I'm gonna bring you a little closer so you can see it a little better. And if you don't like it, oops, I'm not going to scroll you, careful. So you can see the wood grain coming through here. If you don't like it, you can take it back off and do it again. So this, but this is with the, as the surface is not flat, this is a little tricky. So I'm gonna come in with my smaller one and going to try that. So put that down, pull it back, move it around like this. Same thing here, put it down, put it back. So this gives this like a nice effect. You can go over it again until you basically like it. You can use this one also, this tool, just to come in and do some more of the, I didn't like that. I'm gonna go over with that one. I don't like that. I'm going to take that back off. That didn't give me the effect I was looking for. So I'm going to wipe that back. As this is water-based, you can take it back. So baby wipes are my best friend. You don't only need to take the area back you don't like. And then you start again. Put your paint on. And then you come in with your tool. I'm going to use this big one. Place it down, pull it back, wiggle it. Clean it off. I think it's going to get a nicer effect with the smaller tool. So I'm going to put the big one to the side. So that's better. That's better. Nee, Anja, genauso viel oder wenig wie vorher auch, aber die deckt halt wahnsinnig gut, deswegen sieht es so viel aus. Du magst also auch hierbei nur eine dünne Schicht haben, weil je dicker die Schicht ist, desto mehr musst du runternehmen. So, next panel, going to stay with the small one. If it's not covered in some areas, I'm not bothered. I've ordered a whole box with about, I think it's about 30 of those baby wipe things because I'm going through them. Do you like it, Nina? That's good. So put it down, pull it back. You can see this grain coming through here. The smaller one works much better on here. Again, if there's some areas you don't like already, you can go in a little more. And as I said, because it is water-based, you can take it back all together. So, but it is easier with a smaller tool. As the big one is not really getting the grip on there, as this is too wobbly, the surface. But anyhow, that works fine. So this was sitting on top of the other one. That's the reason it didn't work. Try it again. You don't need to go always towards the end, you know. I just wanted to go over this little area there. This gives it a nice wooden effect. Oops. Don't put the baby wipes too far away. Any questions? Thank you, Nina. Yes, I mean, you don't need to do like wood grains always in wood colors, you know. This is obviously up to your own taste. Let's see how to do that here. So, and that wood grain tool, I mean, normally, as I'm pulling and dragging it over the surface, and the paint is just barely dry at the moment, that you can see that this works pretty nicely, and I'm not pulling back any of the paint underneath, you know, which is I'm always cleaning it a little in between to make sure that there's not too much paint in the middle. Guys, if you have any questions, just let me know. You're so quiet. Or are you mesmerized? I'm messed in paint. So you can see there's already some how rough it is when I go over it with the paint, that it's not completely covered straight away, which is no problem. Put it down, pull it back, wobble it around. Gives it a nice effect. A little more here. It's quite funny. Next panel. So if you have, like, for example, like a flat surface, you can use the wider tool, and that works absolutely beautiful on here because they are not even. it is you're not getting the complete grip as you're supposed to. Oh, for now. So I'm always amazed how this thing actually works. But this is great fun. This is great fun. Yeah. Yeah, it looks good with the stains also, but I think you get a nicer effect with the paints. And those are the silk all-in-one mineral paints I'm using at the moment. So it also works with those, which is a nice thing. So you can basically use all your tools. You can do all your, apart from the normal blending, you can do all your things you do with the other ones also. So still, I want to try the big one again. No, but it's not going to work. It's just too big. No, it's no point. It's no point. Only because I want to. And there's some screws on there. There's some nails in there and stuff like that. So they're still in there. So obviously this doesn't really help. And you can see how uneven that is because in some areas I'm just like not touching the surface. Like in here, I'm not gonna get into it with the tool. Try that again. No, but that's no problem. It's just giving it like a different effect. Obviously, when you do something like that, this is not about perfection. Last row. And then we've got it. And this is about just how I wanted to have it. So. And you just rock it on the way down. You just rock it to get like this, to drag basically the paint off your project. So, finished. I quite like it the way it is. I don't want to have, it is irregular, but it is nice. I like it. I hope you like it too. I'm just going to put my grain tools into the water. As I said before, that's what I do straight away. And I go in a minute with a brush to make sure that, I'm going to bring it just a little closer so you can see. Hang on, Instagram. So you can see a little better what is on there. Brush out of the way. So, can you see properly? I think you can. That's what it looks like now. And it's going to dry. I'm going to leave that now like that. And 40 minutes, that's not too bad. Okay, my friends. Do you have any more questions about the Silk All-in-One Mineral Paints or about the Woodgraintool or about anything else? Sorry, Instagram for. Thank you, Greta. Yeah, it is different. You know, this is different, and it is a little difficult with this, but this, you know, you can see the grain coming through in some areas, which is basically just when you have like this driftwood stuff type. I think that's mimicking it pretty well. Do you say mimicking it? Is that an English word, or did I just make that up? I probably just made that up, didn't I? That's me. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Angela. I'm the owner of Creative Energy from Elfen Helden. I'm a Prairie retailer over here in Frankfurt in Germany. And I'm so happy you joined me tonight. If you watch the replay, put hashtag replay into the comments, please. And if you haven't done it yet, leave me a like on my page. You may sprinkle this video also. I'm not holding you back. That'll be absolutely fantastic. And I hope to see you on the Chalk Mineral Paint 101 page next Thursday. Apart from that, I'm on Tuesdays on the Dixie Belle page on my page. I'm Wednesdays on the Wood Band page and on my page. And Thursdays I have a live in German also. The next days before Christmas, this is another reason you should follow me. I have planned, Christmas is like the time for gifts and giving, and I want to give something to you also. So I'm going to do some small projects and I want to do some giveaways. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to give away, but I want you to get some little things for Christmas. You know, if it's like, like a coupon code, or if it's like one of the IOD molds or some paint or whatever, you know, just make sure you're following my page so that you don't miss the announcements for it. So guys, thank you so much for being with me tonight. You stay safe and healthy. And if I missed any questions, I will check on them later. And then I would say have a great evening, day, afternoon, whatever time it is at your place. It is 22:11 p.m. over here in Germany. So it's pretty late, and I say good night to you, Michelle, also. You take care, Grete, Anya, guys, thank you so much for being with me. I really appreciate you being around with me and spending time with me. I like that. Take care. Bye-bye, guys. Bye.